Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are currently a bedside nurse looking for a remote job or a remote nurse looking for a different remote job, you are in the right place. My name is Jazzy RN, the work from home nurse, and the goal of my channel is to help nurses pivot from the bedside to remote work. And just a FYI, if you need any help with your resume or resume tips or templates, you can go to the description box below and the links to all of these jobs will be in the comment section. And also, even though I just post jobs, the videos on Tuesdays, I will be posting additional jobs on this video on Tuesday evenings, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. This first company is Relay Group. They're looking for a medical review nurse 3. This job is full time. The pay is 80,000 to 95,000 per year. And I would go straight to the qualifications. You must be an RN with a current unobstructed license practice nursing in the United States. A BSN or other related field is preferred, not required. Certification in coding is highly preferred, at least 3 years clinical experience in acute care hospital, skilled nursing facility, and our office or clinic-based medical practice, at least 3 years or more experience in medical utilization, medical record review, particularly in Medicare and or Medicaid, proficiency in research, interpretation, and application of Medicare, Medicaid, and local healthcare regulations and policies, and must be proficient in Microsoft Office suite such as Outlook, Excel, and Word. I do want to mention if you go to the description box below, go to the one that says resume tips. And if you scroll down to this very first section here, make sure you're adding platforms used to your resume. That could be Epic, Microsoft Office, Cerner, ProTouch, Meditech, AllScripts, etc. If you also have any Interqual or MCG experience, if you know anything about AMR, any kind of platforms you are familiar with at your current job and previous jobs, make sure you add this to your resume to make your resume more tech savvy. Also, I want to mention if you scroll down towards the bottom of the screen, if you are applying to different types of jobs, such as case management or utilization review or appeals, make sure you have a resume for that job type. You don't want to have one resume for every single job you're applying to. And I do suggest to have a folder. So have one folder for case management that's also care management, one folder for utilization review that also is called utilization management or clinical review, one folder for appeals, and so on and so forth. Humana is hiring a care manager, telephonic nurse. This job is full time. Required qualifications. This is the Department of Defense contract. You must be a U.S. citizen for this position. Successfully receive interim approval for government security clearance. That's National Background Investigation Services. HGB is not authorized to do work in Puerto Rico per our government contract. We're not able to hire candidates that are currently living in Puerto Rico. You must have an active RN license and state of employment, ability to obtain CCM certification within 1 year of hire, 2 years case management experience, and 3 years clinical RN or managed care RN experience. Bonus points if you have a BSN, TRICARE experience, experience with MCG, and concurrent CCM. One more side note, if you want to know what Interqual or MCG is, you can go back to the resume tips link, and this will give you information regarding MCG and Interqual, as well as if you want to get certification. I am not being sponsored by MCG or Interqual, but if you want to make your resume look more marketable, and having Interqual or MCG may help you get the job. Just saying. Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina is hiring a case management coordinator. The job is for RNs or social workers, and this job is full time. You do have until August 4th to apply. This job is the weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, fully remote, but you must live in close proximity to Columbia, South Carolina. Education includes a associate's degree in job-related field, 2 years job-related experience, 4 years recent clinical and defined specialty area. Specialty areas include oncology, cardiology, neonatology, maternity rehabilitation services, mental health, chemical dependency, orthopedic, general medicine or surgery, or 4 years utilization review or case management, clinical or combination. 2 of the 4 years must be clinical. I'm not going to go over every single one of these qualifications. I'm going to focus on required software tools. It includes Microsoft Office. You must have an active unrestricted RN license from the US in the state of hire or active compact multi-state unrestricted RN license. Bonus points if you have 7 years of healthcare program management, working knowledge of spreadsheet database software, thorough knowledge or understanding of claims, coding analysis, requirements and processes, and case manager certification, clinical certification in specialty area. Anizio is hiring a virtual clinical educator. This job is also full time. Qualifications include current U.S. RN license, associate's or bachelor's or BSN or equivalent work related experience, at least 3 years experience working in specific disease, state, or related field, demonstrated effective and professional communication, excellent interpersonal skills with pleasant telephone manner, and articulate phone voice, competency with call center telephone technology, demonstrable organizational skills, a self starter with high personal motivation, ability to manage multiple tasks, evidence of a continual professional development, and a desire to update professional knowledge based regularly, must have stable, reliable, high speed home internet, must have a designated space, separate home office space that is quiet and away from distractions. The pay for this job is 25.20 to 46.80 per hour. Centra Health is hiring a clinical reviewer, SCA, and this job is full time. Shift information includes working between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. This is Eastern Time weekdays and 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time on weekends and holidays. And this is normal to actually work on the weekends and holidays. It may be rotating, but most likely you'll be working on the weekends and some holidays. Qualifications include active unrestricted social worker, LPN, or RN license in applicable state and or compact state license, 3 years clinical experience in a hospital or post acute environment required, knowledge of the provider types, healthcare workflows, Medicare, medical terminology, and disease process required, strong clinical assessment and critical thinking skills required, bonus points for a bachelor's degree from an accredited college or university, proficiency with computer systems or similar case management software preferred, some knowledge of case management, utilization review, and or prior authorization or related experience preferred, prior experience in Medicare, QIO, care coordination, health plan operations, or regulatory healthcare environments, experience in behavioral health settings a plus, and bilingual English Spanish is also a plus. Before I go to the next job, I do want to mention what is utilization review, aka utilization management, aka clinical review, before we keep going on. So basically, utilization review is whenever a member or a patient goes into the hospital for whatever diagnosis, the insurance nurse or utilization review nurse will review the clinicals for medical necessity. The clinicals is the information that is entered in either Cerner, Epic, ProTouch, Meditech into the vet computer system, and then some information is sent from the hospital to the insurance company. So, for example, let's say on the right hand side, the insurance nurse is reviewing a medical necessity clinicals for a patient that was admitted for bowel obstruction. So all the information that is entered into the clinical is done by someone who works in the hospital. It could be a nurse, a doctor, a CNA, basically anyone who has access to this patient's chart and who can add information and edit information on the patient chart. So for this patient to meet medical necessity for a bowel obstruction, they must have an imaging that's positive for bowel obstruction. Doesn't matter where, as long as it's positive for bowel obstruction. The patient must be NPO, NG tube to suction, and continuous IV fluids. So if all criteria or all check marks are met, then that means the insurance nurse, she or he can approve that authorization for inpatient stay. If one is not met, such as let's say the patient refused the NG tube or just the NG tube wasn't entered or wasn't placed into the patient, then that nurse is unable to approve authorization. In that case, she or he will send the information over to the doctor. They'll send also a summary of the clinicals The clinical could be maybe 5 pages, could be 105 pages. So a nurse sends a summary of this information to the doctor, and the doctor decides to make a decision to either approve or deny the authorization. This next company is Personify. They're looking for a utilization review nurse. This is for RNs, and this job is also full time. The schedule is weekdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time, with rotating Saturday coverage as required. Qualifications include current unrestricted RN license in the U.S. or a U.S. territory compact license accepted where applicable, graduate of an accredited nursing program that's ADN or diploma required, a BSN is preferred, 1 to 2 years of recent clinical experience that could be acute care, med surge, ICU, ED, or similar setting, utilization review, utilization management experience preferred. Tech skills include proficiency with Microsoft Word, Excel, and Outlook, working knowledge of ICD 10, CPT, HCPCS coding, and medical claims, ability to interpret medical records and apply evidence based criteria and plan medical policies, comfort working across multiple screens and systems with strong typing proficiency, and ability to work independently within platforms and workflows after training. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee is hiring a transition of care nurse, and this job is full time. You have until August 4th to apply. Qualifications include an RN with an active license in the state of Tennessee or in the state of residence if the state participates in Nurse Licensure Compact Law. Experience is 3+ years, clinical experience required, 5 years experience in the healthcare industry, excellent oral and written communication skills, PC skills required as basic Microsoft Office and email, and this job has only one opening available. Centene is hiring a care navigator foster care, and this job is full time. This position is fully remote for nurses in the state of Missouri. Qualifications include requires a bachelor's degree and 2 to 4 years of related experience. Requirement is graduate from an accredited school of nursing if holding clinical licensure. The pay for this job is $22.94 to $38.79 per hour. Machinify is hiring a healthcare audit policy analyst. This job is for RNs or medical coders. Qualifications include a bachelor's degree in health administration, business, nursing, or related field, or equivalent experience, at least 5+ years of progressive experience in healthcare claim type, subject matter specialty, including direct experience in payment integrity and claims auditing, equivalent experience of 3+ years in claims auditing and recovery auditing, RN or certified coder holding a nationally recognized credential, which is RHIA, RHIT, AHIMA, AAPC, or equivalent is required. I'm going to skip to the salary, and the pay range is $80,000 to $120,000 per year. Gallagher is hiring a healthcare liability nurse consultant. This job's salary is $64,000 to $96,000 per year, and it is full time. This job is fully remote, but you must be able to work standard business hours aligned with the Eastern time zone. Requirements include a BSN or equivalent, RN license or similar level healthcare licensing required, at least 5 years of clinical experience, must have proficient knowledge of medical malpractice and personal injury law, strong knowledge of medical terminology, healthcare regulations, and legal procedures, excellent research and analytical skills with the ability to interpret complex medical information and apply to legal cases. Proficient in using medical research databases, electronic medical record systems, and legal research tools. Excellent written and verbal communication skills with the ability to effectively communicate complex medical concepts to claims handling professionals, attorneys, and other team members. Proficient in using Microsoft Office Suite that includes Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and ability to create and complete comprehensive, accurate, and constructive written reports. Point 32 Health is hiring a senior direct care practitioner, Boston, bilingual preferred but not required, and this job is full time. Qualifications include certified nurse practitioner through ANCC, AANP for adult family acute care and or geriatrics, current Massachusetts state license, current Drug Enforcement Administration registration, current Massachusetts Department of Public Health controlled substance registration. I'm going to pass up the rest of these bullet points. The pay for this job is $121,000 to $181,000 per year. South College is hiring a Master of Science in Psychiatric Mental Health Nurse Practitioner, adjunct faculty, and this job is full time. Requirements include at least a doctorate degree in psychiatric mental health nursing practice with a PHMNP certification and the successful completion of at least 18 hours of directly related graduate coursework. And you must have a Pennsylvania, Louisiana, Tennessee, and Georgia APRN license. Preference will be given to applicants with prior successful online teaching. And before I let you go, if you need any help with your resume, the template, or any kind of tips, go to the resume tips in the description box below. This second section here will show you different websites you can go to for different companies that offers these different types of resume assistance. I highly suggest Northwell Health. If you go there, this is a 17-page PDF, and they have multiple examples of how your resume should be set up and formatted. So I'm going to start from the top here, which is nursing. There's a nursing resume template, as well as student nursing, social work, management, clerical, veteran, new graduate, returning to workforce, and career progression within the same company, and resume checklist. So if you need any additional help with your resume, I am not a certified or registered or professional resume writer, but if you need any help, this is the best place for you, which is down at the very bottom description box. You'll see resume tips. Click on the link and it will bring you here.